Alright, so let's try this one more time then. Oh, thank you for the like, whoever that is. Yeah. Um, yeah, so I won't be like probably on too much longer. Um, yeah, I don't know what was happening there, but so I'm just waiting to see. Um, yeah. Just looking at this, like, there's this caravan on here, right? And it's, but it's in bad condition, sort of thing. I don't know if it could be something that could be like done up to like then be sold. So that could be an idea for something to like. There's a project to like you would buy like a rundown caravan or something, and then if it's possible to then make some profit from that or something. I don't know. Some people would do that with cars and stuff, but I don't know if it's something that you could. I suppose if I could just get it for free and then you could just sell it on it for profit potentially. I don't know. Um, I don't know if that's something that was an idea that I could then flip it and then actually make money for it or something. But obviously, there's a lot of issues with it I see, and I don't know if it's something that could like be, Anyway, who have we got in here then? Yeah, yeah. Let's see what else we've got here. There's even a shed apparently. Let's have a look. Does it say it's free or something? I don't think it says. Um, hang on. I don't think it's. Yeah, it says needs some TLC or it will be great for bonfire night firewood ready to be dismantled within the next couple of weeks. So like, yeah. So you could just, get some yourself some wood. You could just make it into wood or something and then yeah. Um Surely that can't be right. You can't just get a scooter for free, can you? Let's have a look. It's probably a part exchange, is it? Um so I don't know like says bad bits, no MOT, no log but anymore but looking for it. Okay, I don't know. But hello reluctant, welcome back. Oh yeah, I've got some news. So the person, do you know that person that I was talking about the one that like I was talking to, this woman, but she was like got a partner, and well, you know, as I was like sent a message to his cousin. Mr. Bean does live streams now. I didn't know that. What does he actually? Is he like in character or something as like Mr. Bean? I didn't know that he was still doing the whole Mr. Bean thing. So basically, yeah. So I've sent like a message to the person, that his cousin, and I've just gotten a response. So because I said I would show evidence. So yeah, yeah. I just hope that like it's enough to like basically be oh shit, this is something I need to tell him, and because yeah, it's very kind of it's very suspicious when she's like blocked me from his account, as in I could not find his account. So either she's told him to block me, or she's done it herself, which I think the latter is probably true. If she's got access to his account somehow, then yeah. Has she been doing that while he's not looking? She would just go on his phone and then just search me up, and then yeah, she's asked me for proof. So I don't know if you could just send me some bits as well to kind of like really sort of, you know, back it up, because I know that you've got a lot of. I know it could be hard to go back through a lot of messages and stuff because you've talked to her a lot, but Richard were telling me that stuff about her apparently wanting to, you know, get it on with me and shit like that. And yeah, but I kind of was thinking that she wouldn't even get to responding. So I was thinking, well, I might end up having to tell somebody else, but maybe she's just not someone that really goes on social media that much, I guess. Maybe because she actually has a life. You know, she actually has, looks like she's got her own family. You know, she's got a husband, she's got a kid, I think. So, you know, she's got her own shit to deal with. People like that are genuinely not probably going to be on social media all the time. See what I can find. Yeah, that would be good. And then send me the screenshots and I can send it to her. Then it's just going to be pretty damning, then, isn't it? So I need to just wait until I've got enough evidence. But yeah, I'm probably going to send that video that she sent me like back in April, the one where she was like basically, she was, well, being kind of suggestive, shall we say, to say the least. She was, you know, she was like looking into the camera and like waving and smiling and things, and she even like turns around and tries to show her curves and stuff. She knows what she's doing. Yeah. I'm sure you have a lot anyways. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like I could go through, and especially when it first started, there was a lot of like love hearts and things like that. But I got to a point where I'm like, why are you doing this? This is, and then she seemed to get upset about that because, but it's like she was, you know, putting all these flirty messages, and it was just making me all confused. And like, it was like you're saying that you've got a partner, but then at the same time you wanting to talk to me, like, because I remember she was saying about wanting to meet me, just me or something like that, as in just me and her. Like, this is way back now. I don't know if she ever had any intention of meeting me, but gotta go sort of kids back saying, okay, see you in a bit. Just let me know if you can send some stuff over, but I'm pretty sure you've got some good evidence there that But yeah, I have enough just myself, like, um, but hopefully it's going to be enough, like, to give proof of it. But at least she's not like tried to just. Well, at least this person, his cousin's not like basically just trying to shoot the messenger or anything like that. Because yeah, some people might get like that, where they might get all a bit defensive, but I suppose it's not him, so it's his cousin. But it's like she's going to be looking out for him, and she's going to want to know the truth, because then she's probably going to tell him, and it's all going to completely. It'd be so fun to be a fly on the wall in that situation, I bet. Imagine being a fly on the wall when he finds out the truth. It is going to be really messy. To be fair, I'd rather send it to her than to him, to be honest. I mean, I should have sent it to him, but I couldn't, I've been blocked. So then I had to send it to his cousin. But this person, the person I was talking to, she's just too stupid to think that I would have access to things like that, because she's given away too much about herself. This is a thing when if you're trying to be all secretive, then you have to be very careful what you're giving out. Like, because you can easily get traced, or your family going to get traced if you give out certain information of yourself. Because I can just like search it up and then find out who her family is, or his family for that matter. I'd rather tell his family than tell her family, because they're probably going to side more with her. They're probably not going to tell him. Or they fuck. Unless they really care about him, I don't know. But it's just so fucked up. But yeah, she's going to be shitting herself, and it's like, well, what do you expect if you think you're just going to get away with this shit, Actions have consequences. It'd be just so interesting to be a fly on the wall in that situation of, what's going to happen? Is he going to like tell her to get the fuck out and just that you are, because I think that this might be it, because I don't think she's going to get any more chances. Because why is she so shit scared? I mean, if she's done this before, but maybe she's on her last chance now. Maybe this is it, that she ain't got any more chances now, or may not have more chances. But if he decides to stay with her after that, then that's his problem, isn't it? So yeah, it's all about just, are you going to be a man enough to like say enough's enough? He should have already done that ages ago, I think. If he's not getting respected and whatever, then I don't know the full story. Maybe he's just as bad in a way. I don't know. Maybe he has some issues, and I don't know what's going on, but I think he has a right to know. I think no one should be like have secrets kept from them. So otherwise, she should have just gotten with me then, right? But yeah. But it's like, they say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So people think they can just mess around. Well, you'll see what consequences are going to happen. So yeah. Doesn't sound like they'll ever get married. Well, definitely not now, but it just seems like a weird couple. It's like a fake relationship kind of thing. That's what it seems like. I don't know what's going on, but it's just all weird to me. Um, yeah, but then it's like a lot of things in life just don't add up. You can spend your whole life sometimes wondering, why did this person say that? Why did they do that? And sometimes we'll just never know. And maybe we're not meant to know in some cases, but life isn't fair, and we just gotta accept that and just do the best that we can. But there is abundance out there. You just gotta go and find it. And there is love out there, I believe, in some place, even if you haven't found it yet. But you don't need to go and desperately search for it, because if you are desperate, you'll probably end up attracting another. Either they'll be desperate themselves, and that's not true love, is it? If you're desperate for love, then you're going to attract someone that's also desperate. Who There's this codependency, and that's not love. That is neediness. It's not about being with somebody because you want to be with them. You want to be there for them, and support them and all that. So it's not for the right reasons. Then so you're never going to get love if you're coming from a place of desperation and insecurities and things like that. You have to work on yourself first, and then get to a point of feeling ready. And otherwise, you're opening yourself up to manipulations. So either you're going to get someone who's desperate, who's very needy, and as well as you are, and it's just going to be this codependency. And yeah, eventually it's probably going to end up failing, because it's not based on actual genuine attraction. The whole relationship is based on neediness, or you end up getting yourself into a toxic, controlling, manipulative, narcissistic relationship, that because you are vulnerable and they see that. Some people can sniff out vulnerability. So there's times where we should not show too much vulnerability. I was talking about this before, about vulnerability. You have to try and work on yourself, but if there are vulnerabilities that you have, then it's best to not really show that to the wrong person. And sometimes you have to keep your cards close to your chest, and just test the waters first and see, is this the right thing, before fully committing. So you go on a few dates or whatever, and see if that person is actually who they portray themselves to be, instead of just rushing too quickly and just kind of, because of the fear of being lonely or whatever. A lot of people are just with someone because they don't want to be lonely, but then they never feel love deep within, because they don't feel it for themselves. They don't feel that sense of um, love and respect for themselves. So then others will exploit that, because when you don't love and respect yourself, then how can you really get that from anywhere else? Because if it's all based on neediness, and then yeah, there's two options. You either get with someone who's also needy, and which is probably I guess you could say that's the better case scenario, but then there's also the worst case scenario, is that you end up with someone who's toxic and abusive. But either way, it's not good, is it? Because you are not with someone who genuinely loves you, and you probably don't genuinely love that person, because you are with them because of attachment issues or whatever, and the feeling of needing to be with somebody, that's not healthy. We should be with someone because they make our life better, not that we need them to be happy at all, but rather that they enhance our already positive state by adding to our life, rather than being your whole source of happiness. That if you can't be happy at all without that person, then you seriously have some issues. You've got to learn to be able to be happy by doing your own things and stuff. That person in your life should be just adding to that and sort of enriching your life, rather than depending on that, which is, yes, not healthy. So anyway, I'm gonna probably get going. So unless you've got any more questions, but yeah, just like I said, hold your cards close to your chest, especially at the start, and just make sure that I think just only being vulnerable when you know that that person is someone that seems genuine, and you can open yourself up more then, and take that risk. But a lot of people open up too quickly, they become vulnerable too quickly, and then they get their heart broken. But we have to just take that lesson and try to learn from it. But unfortunately, some people don't learn. They just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. They keep putting themselves through suffering. But then some people just end up giving up because they've had enough of all that. Then they just give up on the idea, but they need to learn to have that self-control, that discipline, to be able to just be like, I don't have to, dive straight in. I need to control myself. It's this kind of like thing of like, I either have to jump straight in or I don't do it at all. But we have to learn to like control our mind. We can't let our mind control us. We need to be in control of our mind and be able to, sort of have that willpower to be able to just resist temptations. Because maybe you're somebody that will struggle with like, sort of in general, like with temptations and things. And if you can't sort of resist temptation of, say, like jumping straight in with somebody that you don't really know them that well. A lot of us have been guilty of that, doing things like that, because somebody can come across like the nicest person in the world, but that could easily be a facade, especially when you're talking to someone online and you don't really know them. They can quite easily be fake, unless you know them and you know the people around them and stuff like that, and that they can vouch for them and stuff. Because oftentimes a lot of it comes down to like somebody's reputation and all that. And yeah, you can maybe find out a good bit by, if they seem to be quite popular. They have a lot of people who, they've known them for a long time. They seem to be quite popular around people. Then they're probably going to be genuine. But then you talk to someone online that you don't really know. You don't really know any context about them. Sometimes they're not very open about, their family and friends and stuff like that. And they're just kind of living this secret life, or they're just trying to mess people around. And no one in their life really knows what's going on. They might even be seeing somebody else at the same time. And they're just having fun. It's all fun to them, just playing games with people and just mentally manipulating them. But we have to be wary of these things. So I generally think that meeting someone in person is probably going to be better, because then you skip through all the awkward stuff at the beginning where you don't really know the person. And if you meet someone in somewhere around where you live, then it's probably, and if there's like, you say you go to a venue around with them or something like that, and then they know a bunch of people and they've got a reputation, then there's people who can vouch for them and stuff. So it's like okay, they're probably all right, you know. Especially if, like, say you've got like social networks and stuff like that, then because if that person does do you dirty, then you've got all that network of people that some of them are going to have your back, and you know they're going to hopefully support you. Then again, sometimes they take the woman's side, even when they were the ones that cause the problems. But it's just one of those things. Men will take more men's side generally as well. So, but you have to find people who will actually, you know, vouch for you. And it's like, but if they know that person is, you know, for a long time and that they seem quite genuine, then you're probably going to be like 99% sure that they're not going to be narcissistic and cause problems. So a lot of the people who you find are narcissistic are probably ones who you probably didn't really know them that well first, and you didn't know if they were reputable. You didn't get to know like their friends and stuff like that to kind of find out if they're like actually who they say they are. So because usually with these narcs, they just try and cut you off from your friends, and because they are your support network, if things go wrong, then you can talk to them and say, "Oh, I feel like this is a toxic relationship. I need some help," or something like that. But we have to just kind of be careful with these sort of people, and you'll probably never see their friends. They probably don't. Either don't have friends, or they're just keeping everything all secret. A lot of them have secret lives. They might be with somebody else secretly. They might say that they work nights or something like that, but then they're secretly going and, you know, with somebody else during that time. So anyway, I'll see you all later. Bye for now.